Guys, what are clients actually worried about when you first meet them? What's their main concerns?
For me, most people say to me, what if I can't find the ongoing property?
Yeah.
That's probably the most...
Number one.
Yeah.
But then that's down to us to manage buyers' expectations.
Yeah. And it's about making that client feel supported and saying, well, there isn't a straight answer to this, but it's about us supporting them and saying what we can and can't do,
and communication.
For them. Yeah.
Because if you're managing that buyer's expectations, you're updating them all the time. It's understanding, saying to our client, listen, if you sell your house to a first-time buyer and you've got to find somewhere to go and they're saying they want to be in 2 to 3 weeks, well, they're not your buyer.
Yeah.
And it's all about managing expectations. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't give the client 6 years to find a house, but it is all about communication, being transparent when you're agreeing that offer.
Yeah.
Crucial. Yeah. At that offer stage, transparency with both buyer and seller so that they've got the full picture.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to be saying in the negotiation is, oh yeah, we got our sale ready service, the searches are in place and everything else. We can get this through in 4 or 5 weeks, and then realise that the seller hasn't found an onward purchase yet.
But again, it comes back to the personal agent, because the personal agent knows what their situation is. Yeah.
And this is where
and you've got to manage it.
It all falls down with some agents out there that are chasing their tails all the time, that they're really busy people, probably haven't got enough staff, and people don't even know the actual story behind what's going on.
So it's very easy, isn't it, when you get an offer in to get excited, think, great, brilliant, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
However, there is a bigger picture.
Yeah.
And we do have to step back and look at things from everybody's point of view. They may be coming up with the right financial scenario, but does their personal scenario fit in with our client?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And chains are a big thing as well. Just going back and making sure that you've got to the end of the chain, you know what's going on, and all of their stories as well.
Yeah.
This is what people don't see in the background. Is there's so much to it, isn't there? Especially when there's a 2-3 house chain involved. Makes things really
In fact, I've got a newfound respect, actually, for since I've changed roles, is to see just how much work there is involved in it all, really. You know what on the sales progression side, it was eye-opening to me, but...
And that's the key thing. We were having this conversation yesterday when I had an offer on one of my properties and you were like, you've had an offer, that's fantastic. No, unfortunately not, Laura, because the situation just didn't map out.
Yeah.
So as an outsider, somebody could go, well, you've had an offer, that's fantastic. But actually the scenario to it and the situation that they're in, just because you get an offer doesn't mean it's the right offer. It doesn't mean it's the right situation or the right scenario. And because I knew the client, I knew that, okay, we've had an offer, that's great, but it's not where it needs to be. It's not in the right scenario. Whereas from an outsider that's looking in, you go, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's, again, knowing the situation and knowing exactly where it's going on to.
And how do you manage communication differently, Lee, as a personal agent?
I think one of the great tools that we've got is WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You know, a simple tool that we use very effectively because, of course, everybody works or everybody's doing things within their life, and the time that we contact them may not be convenient for them. So that gives us a great platform to allow them to get back to us as soon as they're free and able.
In fact, I say to people a lot, I'll keep you informed. You don't have to read everything that I send, but, it depends on the client, doesn't it? If they might be really busy people and think, oh, well, I can't look at that now. But then later on when they get home, they can say, oh, that's happened today and things like that. But at least they are aware of everything if they want to be, aren't they?
The groups are important, aren't they? The WhatsApp groups, and bringing people within the team into those groups at the various stages.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So even though we're the personal agent, the whole team are in the group.
Yeah.
So everyone can see what's going on. So if I was on an appointment or we were on an appointment and the client did need to get hold of us, but we weren't free in that specific moment, everyone still knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I think it's also important to point out as well, it's not just us in the group. Sometimes some of the sales that we deal with can involve different siblings, for example.
Yeah.
So it's a great way of us to get that information across to all the parties involved at the same time as well.
Yeah, and I think once it's written down, it's written down as well. There's a record of it,
Yeah.
and you can scroll up to see what's gone on
been
before
said.
or what's been said, There's none of this, he said this, she said that. It's,
Black and
again,
white.
accountability and making sure that everything that's said is right